So we're here with head coach Jay Harris. The women's soccer team is 3-1 so far on the year. Talk about the last game and your overall thoughts so far on the season.
St. Thomas are a good team, coached by a great coach. Every single year, it's a tough game. The games can go either way, I think, all the time with them. Fortunately, in this game, we was able to sneak the win. It was an even game. So, I think you play them 10 times, the chips fall evenly. So today was, not today, but a few days ago was our day, and we need to, push forward and keep the momentum and continue to have a great season.
Y'all seem to be winning the games that you need to win and putting yourself in a good situation. 3 wins against teams that aren't in that top tier in the Sun Conference. Can you talk about what has been working well with the team and how you've been able to take that next step, especially from like last year to this year, and now you're sitting in 3rd place in the Sun Conference?
You're sitting in third place in the Sun Conference, and there's still 5 games to go. So there's a long way to go. But yes, we're in 3rd place, and that's where we want to stay. I mean, the goal is obviously you want to be better than that, but it's about progression. And if we can finish in 3rd place, and when we finished in 7th last year, that's a big jump and a great improvement. I think every game and every practice we try and implement more things. And it's like anything, there's a learning curve, and sometimes you can almost take a step back in order to be able to move, make some jumps forward. So we're trying to give a lot of information over a short period of time, and they get in some of it, and some of it gets miscommunicated or misunderstood, and we have to work back on it. But they're doing a great job, and I think St. Thomas was our best game by far. We still made a lot of mistakes, but as a collective unit, we've done a great job in being together and showing our resilience as a team.
So let's talk about St. Thomas a little bit more. 1-0 victory, Arya Downey with the game-winning penalty kick. But I think defense was the big talking point. St. Thomas had a lot of momentum late in that first half, and then after they went down 1-0, they continued to attack. And there wasn't really a whole lot of chances for St. Thomas to really go into goal. Can you talk about the defense, Mariah being Sun Conference Defensive Player of the Week in that back line?
Mariah is a great keeper. That's why I recruited her. I knew what she was going to do coming in. You want a strong individual personality and great ability, and that's what Mariah has. And the back line, again, I went out to improve our back line from last year, and I think we've done that. We obviously held Kumar and Allison, done a great job last year, but Mari has a lot of facets to her game that you can utilize. So pulling her out of defense, as well as Dina, I brought in players that I thought were stronger defensive attributes, whereas Dina and Mari have other attributes in their game where they can play in different parts of the field and be as effective or even more effective. But our defense done an exceptional job in staying tight. But it was the players in front of them too that done a really good job. If we highlight Megan Wagner, it was her first start and the most minutes she's played in 2 years here, and she done an exceptional job with the energy. She was, a ball winner in the middle, and then I think Aaliyah and Lauren done a wonderful job in stepping out to the ball, committing they're putting their bodies on the line to block and win, and the communication was better from them. So it was by far our best defensive display, and I think the more they play together, the better they'll be.
And I think that was one thing you hit the nail on the head, was the fact that there are a lot more aggressors on this team. Megan Wagner, like you said, that last game, she was definitely the aggressor. She wasn't afraid to put a shoulder and get a position in on a player and get the ball, but also the same with Lauren Wood and Aaliyah White. Can you talk about how that aggressiveness plays into the scheme of your team and as well takes that next step?
It doesn't matter what scheme you have, what formation, you need a ball winner and you need some physicality in your team. Whether it be one player or two, or you need a leader. You can't have all the players doing the same thing, having the same sort of style. You got to have someone that's going to be in there and grind away and just do some of the dirty work and be a ball winner and be physical. And so we needed that. That's something we was missing from last year. We played really well, but we didn't have a defensive intensity as a team, and we didn't really have a true ball winner in a centre-back position. Ava was phenomenal for us last year in a holding midfielder role, and she was a big loss because she was that player. She made sliding tackles, one-headers, and she was exceptional in distributing the ball. But losing her, that's why we had to shift some things around. But bringing in Lauren and Leah, they're 2 physical, dominant centre-backs, and then that shored up our defense even more. And then, the midfield, we moved some pieces around, and we're still, I think we're still working on our midfield a little bit, just try and figure out exactly what is best for us and what's going to be most beneficial moving forward. But we've made a signing for January also, so there'll be a player coming in that's going to make us stronger in the middle of the park.
So let's look to Saturday. It's kind of a two-part question. It's the first time they all have gone on the road in almost a month, but it's also against a team that you've already played this year. Can you talk about those two types of things, being familiar, but also the first time you've been on the road for almost a month?
Yeah, we haven't been on the road for a long time. You know, these trips can be fun for one, time to bonding, shared experience going on the road, but this is a long trip, so I don't know how fun going to Ave is. It's actually the first time we've played Ave. We're only going to play them once. Obviously, the north and south is split, so we're only playing the south once. They're much improved. They're a good team. Tyler's done a good job in recruiting and watching their games. They're a team that has endurance, speed. It's going to be an interesting matchup. They play a different formation. They're playing on turf. You know, anytime you go away or you're at home, you're always going to have the advantage. So I think it's going to be an extremely tough game. And going down there is going to be a challenge for me as a coach and for our team.
I think the biggest thing is coming late last year, they came down, or up here, I guess, and played here. Can you talk a little bit about those differences? I know both teams are obviously scouting each other, but you said they've changed tactically. Can you talk about that? You don't have to go into too much detail. You don't want to give everything away, but how does that change from last year to this year since you saw them later at the end of last season?
He's recruiting on a national level now, finding players from the Midwest and the West Coast. He's finding players with, better endurance, more speed. Their team plays an intense style. They work. To me, they're probably the fittest team in the Sun Conference. They work extremely hard for one another. They are committed, and like I said, they play with an intensity that is unmatched with any other team. So, you're looking at players that have the speed and the endurance. And when you've got speed and endurance, you can always affect the game. And they can play. Listen, you can see that they've scored goals. They've got players that are standing out on their team. So, I mean, it's going to be a tough game.
Well, we're excited. Kickoff is at 11 a.m. in Ave Maria, Florida. So we're excited, and we wish you the best of luck on Saturday.
Thank you.